Hey guys, Zach here again. Sorry that there was no video last week for Wednesday, Friday, or last Wednesday. I was on vacation, and I didn't get to record anything. Currently I still am on vacation, but let's just keep that from my job. Anyway, I'm just playing. So, I didn't get to see any movies this week as I'm broke after my vacation. I've spent all my money, so what I thought I could do for the next three videos, because probably won't be able to see a movie next week, so I will not be able to do another movie review. But I have the 80s movie review coming out Wednesday, which will be Raging Bull. I have to watch that. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. It's a classic. I've never seen it before. Hopefully it is good. And today and next week is going to be a top 10, top 20 list. Today's going to be a top 10. But let's start this off by saying I was watching a movie the other day, and I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. I didn't think it would be good, as I like the original, but the original is another bad movie. But that's what this whole list is going to be about. This top 10 guilty pleasures. The movie I was watching was Mean Girls 2. Yeah, don't kill me for that one, but I liked that movie, and I thought it was bad, but it was a good kind of bad. So yeah. I made a list of top 10 guilty pleasure movies. It's not going to be extravagant as my last top 10 list, my top 10 best movies, but because I'm not at my friend's house and he usually helps me direct these movies, but I can't do it on my own. So yeah, we're just going to go down the list, and let's see if any of your favorite favorite movies made this list as a guilty pleasure. So yeah, here we go. Let's start out with number 10. This doesn't seem like a guilty pleasure, but after watching it again, after seeing Vanilla Ice in it and Super Shredder, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 had to be on my list. This movie is bad because, oh my god, they made the Turtles comedic, which I thought that with the darker tone from the first one, plus a little comedy, but they made this movie totally comedy. They made Rocksteady and I keep forgetting the other one's name, but the other villain's like comedic as anything. They made them. Oh god, it was horrible. They put Vanilla Ice and the ninja rap in this movie, which was it's so bad it's good. I love this movie, and that's why it's number 10. It's so bad. It's not bad. It's not as bad as the other movies on this list because they're very bad movies. But yeah, what else can I say about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is definitely better than the third one. I will take that to my grave and anything. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 as my number 10. Top 10 guilty pleasure movie. Number 9, Like Mike. Oh my god. Like Mike. What can you say about this movie? It stars Bow Wow. You got Brenda Song, the kid from My Little Vampire, Jerry Maguire. I forget his name. His name escapes me. And of course, a lot of NBA players. This movie, a lot of people do like this movie. It's become like kind of a cult classic for basketball movies, but it's so bad. The acting's terrible. You have I forget his name. He's from Back to the Future. He's the main villain basically. He takes over the orphanage, and Bow Wow is an orphan that wants to become a basketball star, and he finds these shoes that have been worn by MJ, and then he gets into the NBA and becomes this NBA superstar. And yeah, it sounds bad. It plays on the Warriors. It was before the Washington Golden State Warriors. And this is the Knights. That's what it was. Yeah, so the plot sounds very unrealistic, and it is. It's just an unrealistic movie, and that's why it's my number 1. But I love this movie. I love it to death. I used to watch this a lot in my childhood. I always wanted to be a basketball star, and this movie just insinuated it. I wanted to be a lot of things as a child. I think everybody did. But yeah, basketball star was a big thing, and then you got to see Bow Wow perform dunks and everything, shoot three-pointers and everything. I just love this movie. I might get flack for my number 8 because this is such a loved movie, and I love it. It's a guilty pleasure, of course. But Bill and Ted, I couldn't decide which one. I guess the second one is more so a guilty pleasure because the first one's so good. They send 2 new Bill and Teds from the future into the past to kill Bill and Ted, and then Bill and Ted find death, and then they go on this crazy adventure. They bring in robots. It's unrealistic. The first Bill and Ted was unrealistic too, but this was over the top awesomeness, and it's bad, and I love this movie. And yeah, that's Bill and Ted. That's all I really gotta say about that. That's my number 8, Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure. Number 7, we have an Adam Sandler movie. You might be thinking it might be Jack and Jill. No, it's not Jack and Jill. It's not Spanglish. It's not Big Daddy, because that was a good movie. Waterboy was great. All of his pre-2000 movies were good. And then you got this little gem that I think is amazing. Little Nicky. Oh my god. The amount of hilarity in this movie is just off the charts. You have was it Michael Clark Duncan as one of the, no, it wasn't Michael Clark Duncan. It's I don't even remember his his black brother, and Little Nicky is one of the devil's sons, and his 2 other sons escape from hell and go on Earth, and Little Nicky's got to get them back and bring them back to hell, or hell will freeze and the devil will die, his father. So yeah, you got all the classic Adam Sandler things. He's got this weird accent with Little Nicky. He's got his crew he used to have in the 90s, which I think was hysterical. You got appearances by Henry Winkler in this movie, Ozzy Osbourne. It's just, Adam Sandler was at his prime in the 90s, and then he made this movie. A lot of people hated this movie, but I think it's just so funny. And the one scene I always remember from this movie, Popeye's chicken is the shiznit. I think that explains this movie perfectly. If you haven't seen Little Nicky, I loved it. It's one of my top 10 guilty pleasures. A movie for number 6, a lot of people don't know about it. It stars Brendan Fraser. It's called Monkey Bone. What this movie is Brendan Fraser's character gets into a coma, and he creates this character. It's called Monkey Bone. It's a little monkey with a backpack, and Monkey Bone ends up going into his body, Brendan Fraser's body, and starts acting like Brendan Fraser. Sounds stupid. It is. It's stupid. It's very stupid. And Brendan Fraser's not a good actor. Not since The Mummy, and he hasn't made really a good movie since. And this is one of his worst roles, but I loved it. It's got great laughs. You got Whoopi Goldberg in this movie. Of course, Brendan Fraser. I do like Brendan Fraser as an actor. I like most of his movies. Maybe I have bad taste. I don't know. But I like this movie a lot. It's funny. It's very underrated in my opinion, but it is a guilty pleasure because a lot of people hate it. So yeah. Let's recap 10 through 6. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Like Mike, Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventures, Little Nicky, and Monkey Bone. Here we go. The top 5 guilty pleasure movies of my choosing. If number 5, you have The Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey. This movie got slammed by critics. I mean, really, really bad. They hated this movie, and I love this movie. The most infamous scene, I think you guys can remember it, is when he goes, turtle, turtle. It's basically a bad guy's trying to take over the world, and Dana Carvey's character has to become all these different disguises to stop him. And he's this geek, and he gets the girl at the end. Blah blah blah. It's like any nerd's dream for this movie. They get the hot girl in the end, and he gets to do different disguises in this movie. What else can I say about this? I like Dana Carvey. He's funny as the church lady, and this is one of his lesser-known roles, and it's one of his worst roles, but for me, it's one of my favorites. Maybe I just have bad taste in movies, as evidenced by this top 10 guilty pleasures. So yeah, number 5, The Master of Disguise. Number 4, one of my favorite comedians from the 90s and 2000s. I think all of his movies are great. Mr. Popper's Penguins not included. So if you haven't guessed, it's Jim Carrey. If you don't know, I hate to say this, but one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies is The Number 23. I was obsessed with this movie after I saw it. I used to connect things to 23 all the goddamn time. Basically, the plot of this movie is Jim Carrey's character finds a book, and everything basically relates to the number 23. And after seeing this movie, it just blew my mind and everything, and I loved it. I was like, what, 13 years old when I saw this? And it wasn't funny. It was one of his more serious roles. If you want to see a better Jim Carrey movie, serious role, see Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Perfect role for Jim Carrey. But this was just bad Jim Carrey. I love this movie. I love the plot. It's so bad, it's good. That's what all these movies are. They're so bad, it's good. And so yeah, there's nothing really else I could say about the number 23 except give it another chance. I liked it. I like the plot, and it's very stupid and it's very asinine, but it holds you over for a little bit, for 2 hours, I think, in my opinion. Number 3, all I gotta say with this movie is, I just gotta say one line. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? This movie, Good Burger, starring Kenan and Kel. Oh, one of my favorite TV shows as a kid. Watching them in the 90s, it was amazing. And then they made this movie from the short of Good Burger. They used to have it on all of that. And you would think, how could they make an hour? I think it's an hour and 30 minutes of one line. Welcome to Good Burger. But they do, and it's so stupid. They ended up in a mental hospital. They got I forget the actor's name. He's in The Godfather, but they got him to play in it. They got Carmen Electra in this movie, which I thought was funny. It's just okay. The plot of this movie is another company called Mondo Burger opens up across the street from the Good Burger, and Kenan's character is his car got crashed, and he's got to work at Good Burger to make money. And he finds a secret sauce with Kel. Kel makes a secret sauce, and then all this stuff ensues, and it's just bad. But I loved every minute of it. I can't help it with this movie. I used to love the Good Burger skits when I was a kid. Kel was hilarious, and he is in this movie. A lot of people might find him deranged. Maybe that's my type of comedy. So yeah, number 3 is Good Burger. Number 2, this movie got bombed at the box office. Bombed. The Adventures of Pluto Nash, starring Eddie Murphy, Rosario Dawson, and I can't think of who else is in this movie. But yeah, Peter Boyle's in this movie for a little bit, which I thought was hysterical. He plays the dad on Everybody Loves Raymond. This movie's basically about Pluto Nash becomes this club owner, and this guy named Rex is trying to close down his club, so he goes to meet him, blah, blah, blah. Hilarity ensues, and this movie, like is one of the biggest bombs of all time. I don't know, I watched this a lot as a kid, and I just ended up loving it, and I still do to this day. I just watched it the other day, and I thought it was hysterical. What else can I say? It's got Eddie Murphy, who I think is very underrated as a comedian. He's had a lot of bad movies, and this is one of his worst. But I love this movie, and the trailer is this movie was bad, but it's so bad it's good. That's what I loved about this movie. It's a cult classic in my opinion. I think anybody that likes Eddie Murphy should watch this movie. You might hate it, but I loved it. I ended up loving this movie. And my number 1 guilty pleasure movie is Mean Girls. What can you say about this movie? You got Lindsay Lohan, you got Rachel McAdams, you got Amanda Seyfried. I didn't think I would like this movie, but my sister would watch it all the time when she was a kid, and I just ate this movie up. You go, Glenn Coco. It's got so many funny lines. It's very underrated in my opinion. It's a very good comedy. You got Tina Fey in this movie. Who else? The guy that plays Damien, God, he was hilarious in this movie. And a lot of people might call me gay for liking this movie, but I think it's hysterical. You got the girl Gretchen Wieners is the pompous asshole. You got Amanda Seyfried's Seyfried. I don't know if I'm saying that's right, but you got Amanda Seyfried's character being the dumb blonde. She was good in this movie. Rachel McAdams was the ultimate bitch, and she's just amazing in this movie. And you got Lindsay Lohan when she looked hot. Oh my God, Lindsay Lohan was beautiful in this movie. And then you had Tina Fey was great in this movie. She was funny as the teacher. Yeah, so overall, I can't recommend this movie enough. I'm laughing, but I'm being serious with this. But this movie is hilarious. I think you should give it a look, and you should watch all these movies. I'm laughing because I can't keep a straight face with this. But yes, thank you guys for watching. This has been my top 10 guilty pleasure movies. Comment, what is your top 10 guilty pleasure movies? Like this video, want to see more. I did my Psycho review 2 weeks ago. Wow, 2 weeks. I'm going to be back on Wednesday for Raging Bull. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out. Yeah, so tell me, what are some of the movies that you hate to admit to people that you watch? So yeah, I'm going to go, guys. I'm probably going to go watch Raging Bull. I should go do that now because that would make my review on Wednesday a lot easier to do. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm Zach. I love movies. I hope you do too. Bye.